This is a bookable summary of the book Extreme Productivity by Robert C. Pozen. Many people believe that being more productive will be draining and they will have to work constantly at full capacity to achieve their goals. However, the reality is that increased productivity allows you to finish your work faster, leaving more time for the things that matter to you. It also leads to increased happiness and rejuvenation, which in turn boosts productivity. So, how can we enter this positive cycle? It all comes down to simplicity. Productivity involves achieving maximum results with minimal effort. Number 1. Prioritize your tasks and invest your time accordingly. It can be overwhelming to plan for the future when you have a lot of work to do in the present. However, taking the time to think about long-term goals can be beneficial. To start this process, try organising your tasks by breaking them down into specific aims, objectives, and targets. Make sure you prioritise projects you and your employer want to achieve. Once that's done, you can focus on tasks that only concern you. To ensure you're doing this effectively, you should track your work days and monitor how you spend your time. You may notice you spend lots of time on tasks that don't align with your goals. Also, how you allocate your time is also important in increasing productivity. This leads us to another issue: procrastination. Number 2. Fight procrastination with mini deadlines that hold you accountable. It can be overwhelming when you have a lot of work to do and don't know where to start. So it's important to know how to deal with them. One way to tackle this issue is to break your projects down into smaller goals and set mini deadlines for yourself. Doing this helps to make the tasks more manageable and allows you to complete your work step by step rather than waiting until the last minute and potentially producing rushed, low-quality work. To effectively use this approach, set deadlines at similar intervals and avoid having them all due at the same time. For instance, if you have to write a 6,000-word report in 4 weeks, you could set a deadline to write 2,000 words per week for the first 3 weeks, and then spend the final week proofreading and editing. Sharing your deadlines with your boss also adds extra pressure and makes you more accountable. Such an approach guarantees you'll meet your promises since you won't want to disappoint your boss. After successfully meeting a deadline, reward yourself as a way to acknowledge your hard work by treating yourself to a nice meal or an interesting book. Number 3. Quickly handle low-priority tasks by keeping your perfectionism at bay. At one time or another, you've probably spent so much time on small, simple tasks and ended up not having enough time to complete more important tasks. That's why getting the smaller tasks done right off the bat when you're working is important. Spending too much time on low-priority tasks will waste your time and energy. One way to manage your tasks efficiently is to use the Ohio principle, which stands for only handle it once. For instance, each day, you'll be faced with different requests from your colleagues, your boss, and your family. When you receive this request, you should quickly decide if you will handle them or not, or handling it multiple times. Another way to move forward with your work is to recognise that not everything needs to be done flawlessly regarding your low-priority tasks. Reserve your attention and effort for high-priority tasks that are more important to your boss or have a larger impact on your work. Number 4. Write with efficiency by finding structure and quiet. Every time you read something, be it a book or a blog post, you get a glimpse inside the author's head. And if you're a writer, your text flows will reveal a lot about your thought process to your audience. So, to improve the efficiency and quality of your writing, you need to add structure to the process. You can do this by brainstorming, categorizing, and outlining your ideas. When brainstorming, write down any thoughts that come to your mind about the subject without worrying about order or structure. During the categorizing phase, you group your ideas into categories and then into subcategories. Once you've done this, then you can create an outline by arranging your categories in a logical sequence. In addition to structure, writing effectively also requires time and a quiet environment. Consider going to the office early or staying late when it's quiet. Or if your job involves travelling by train or plane, take this excellent opportunity to do some focused writing. Number 5. The product you deliver matters more than the time you spend on it. Do you judge the quality of a book based on how long it took the author to write it? Obviously not. The same applies to work. What matters is the result. The number of hours spent on any given project is irrelevant. It's irrational to value the number of hours spent on a task over the quality of the outcome. It's also not beneficial to embrace a culture that values long hours over productivity. Unfortunately, many managers still prioritise the number of hours worked over the results produced. Managers often subconsciously value workers who put in overtime and weekend hours. They claim to favour results, but in practice, they prefer employees who work long hours. Given what you know now about productivity, this is obviously a problem. However, you can avoid the emergence of such a culture by simply refraining from saying things that emphasise the importance of working long hours. Doing so will improve your workplace culture and provide more time for personal activities and a better work-life balance. Number 6. Prioritise your private life and find a flexible place to work. Productivity is not just about working as much as possible. It also involves taking care of your personal life and overall lifestyle. After all, the goal of being efficient at work is to make time for activities outside of work. So, it's important to prioritise non-work related activities and stick to the standards you set for yourself, such as being at home at a certain time. This helps to protect your personal and family time. If something urgent comes up that can't be put off, try to plan with your boss to complete it remotely or come in early to finish it. Don't forget to prioritise spending time with your family, whether that means cooking together, having a conversation over dinner, or reading bedtime stories to your children if you have kids. To achieve this balance, it's important to build trust with your boss and show that you are reliable. Also, consider saying no to late meetings or taking a job at a company with flexible working hours. When considering a job offer, flexible hours are often a top priority for employees. Having flexible hours can allow you to be present for important events in your personal life, such as when a family member suddenly falls sick or there is a special occasion to attend. What's your most important key takeaway? Please comment down below and share the video if you like it. Check out these other 2 videos. Thank you, and until next time.